Hey guys, Steph here. Today I'm going to be doing something different, playing DayZ um, and covering my stream. Hope you guys are doing well. So DayZ, for those who haven't played, is a survival open world first-person shooter game. It's set in various locations, sort of in the east, and you've got a zombie apocalypse. Buildings are abandoned except for zombies, and you fight against them, the elements, and players. Now that's it in theory, but in reality, DayZ is just a PvP game, first-person shooter that's more annoying because the maps are huge. And when I say big, I think Chinaris is like 15 kilometers square, and you have to walk almost all of it because getting vehicles is quite tough. So this is my character. I've got some pretty decent gear. Let me just show you with the in-game map. I always like when there's in-game stuff. It adds to the immersion. You can use some tools out of game. Uh, DayZ maps are very realistic, so you don't get much in the way to help you know where you're going. There's no in-game map aside from this. As you notice, there's no locator telling me where I am. This is Namalsk. It's a community-made map, which the devs of DayZ Bohemian Interactive then just copy-pasted and created Sakal and then sold it as a paid DLC. But and so it's a smaller map actually. It's got some cool elements, some late game play, and there's a few things you have to do because generally DayZ is quite open world. The devs are very hands off. You do what you want to do to survive, but this one actually has some steps you can take that kind of change a little bit of how the world interacts and plays. You generally, in DayZ maps, you'll start somewhere and you'll make your way down to like better areas. That's the progression. So you'll start somewhere at the top coast. For example, this is the main city, Vorkuta, and make your way down to here. Now where I'm currently is right here in this area in Tara. I'm playing a PvE, so player versus environment. More on that later. And it was just nighttime, but I guess we can actually see. So let's poke around a little bit. I am a bit of a looty goblin, so I'm carrying a... I don't know why this is cold. Okay, I think it's cold when it's out of my inventory. I'm carrying some stuff because I'm doing a bit of a run. So playing against the environment, so the rules are no killing. He says KOS, kill on sight, but it's no killing in general. No stealing as well. And don't be fooled. This map in particular has got some challenging environment bits that make it still tough, even if you're not going to get shot in the back by a random player that might be up in the hills there. So let me show you the other main threat, which is zombies. So right now I'm crouching. I'm gonna creep around because I can hear one. I don't know if you can hear from the game audio. I'll check after the recording. That needs to be turned up, but I can hear him behind me somewhere. The stereo sounds pretty good. You can generally locate where your threats audio input are coming from. Maybe you can get like a surround sound. So he's right here. So he hasn't seen me. I'm creeping. You can see on the bottom left there, that's my noise level. It's pretty low. You have different ways to deal with him. Firstly, you should check, is it alone? Right now I don't see another infected around me, and he's come right up to me. He still hasn't seen me. As long as I don't move and he's not facing me, he won't notice me. Now I'm going to show you, if I can pull it off, a stealth takedown. So you want to hit the... and I fucked it up. And he got a hit on me. So I'm just going to do a few power attacks with my combat knife, which is one of the late game knives. It's very small. Here I've got it in my assault boot. So as you can see, every item DayZ, again, boring if someone doesn't know the game, but someone knows the game, but I'll just explain. They've got both a weight, they've got a condition. They also have a size they take up, so physical size. So in any of your carrying things, you want to just organize kind of how you put it, and you can rotate it to fit it in. This one fits in special kind of assault boot, so it's just a hard limit on what you can carry, just so you manage your inventory. So what I was trying is a stealth takedown, which is just a one, you just drop them in one shot. If you can pull it up, it's a left and right key. As you creep up behind, they can't have heard you, which was the key there. He did hear me. So right now I am in, let me pull out the map. Apologies, this is going to be a ramble. I'm going to see how recording this goes because it's a very long and involved game. I'm not sure if everything is going to be interesting. I don't like doing editing when I record these. It's just kind of low effort, just sort of shoot and fire mode. So, but I may, what I mean is I may cut stuff or just start recording again when it gets interesting. But yeah, let's see how it goes. So right now I'm here. This is kind of a higher tier loot. So the further down you progress, the more dangerous it gets. And certain areas are blocked off completely, except that you need specific gear or you unlock certain things to get to them. I'm down here. I'm looking for, one is a flag, which you need to base build. You need to basically kind of secure your base. It stops stuff from despawning. So I have a base up here. I like basing central on maps. And this time I've gone with like a little kind of fishing hut setup. So I'm right in the middle here. This is a big non-frozen lake. And yeah, I've got access to the airfield that's here, or also the north of the map where, in case I die and respawn in, I can get back to. So I'm playing on a community server, not an official one. Official ones can have a lot of cheaters on. And community ones can have a lot of wild mods and admins and such. You basically don't know what you're getting, but they do have some nice vanilla ones. So this is pretty much vanilla with the exception that it's not a vanilla map, but otherwise the experiences are very much your plain old DayZ. And I'm down here, so looking for a flag for my base and looking for a spool, which you can go to the wiki to check. It basically allows you to build a late game suit that lets you kind of go to this sort of alien-like place. It's all community created, very cool map modders that have done it. So props up. I still haven't actually done that stage, so hoping I can pull it off soonish. Now, it's very quiet over here. There's normally a fair amount of zombies. So let me just pop around and see if I'm just not hearing them or... So you notice I've stopped crouching. Okay, he's right there. Let me see if I can pull off. So this is the stealth move, stealth kill round 2. What you don't want to do is sprint up if you have loud shoes, and somehow he heard me. So maybe my shoes are just too loud. So I'm just going to hit him with 2 power attacks, and that dropped him. But I did get the attention of another zombie. No, okay. Okay. So that's one way you can deal with them. You can deal melee, and it's sometimes good to do it in case players are around and might hear you, with the other option, which is with your weapons. Now, this is a silenced pistol. There's a bit of a frame drop there because I'm recording. So it's a fantastic pistol, and Mark II has a built-in silencer. The more stuff that's built into your gun, the better it is, because you do have to concern yourself with durability. So you could get a pistol with a silencer attached, but then you've got to check to keep that repaired. So this is nice all-in-one. Very nice for just dropping zombies. You wouldn't use it on players if you're doing PvP because it's just going to, it's not, the caliber of the bullets matters a lot for the damage it deals. So yeah, let's use .22. Small size mag. So yeah, that's another way to deal with the zombies. Let me show you the kind of the go loud, the loose cannon approach. So you want to get up. By the way, I just learned recently after playing a long time that you can actually climb these crates. You want to get up out of their reach. Zombies can climb upstairs. They can rappel over walls like that, but for some reason they can't use that same skill to do what I just did and climb up here. So, and they also can't climb ladders. So as long as you're up one of those and that's the only access point, you're good. So you might have just seen I've got night vision on this, which is actually decent in the daytime. And this is not a silence weapon. So uh, it's the M16, which is actually a very good late game weapon. I'll explain more later how I got it. Oh, I thought any body shot kills him, but I think I hit that guy in the foot, so he didn't actually. I could fire it from the hip as well. That's the other way. Um, you just don't care. You're out of reach of the zombies. And I can hear someone else kicking off. Now, I don't know why that hit the edge of the container. That was weird. So the zombies can hear you. They can especially hear gunshots. And what's more important if you're playing PvP is other players can hear gunshots from sometimes like 2 kilometers away, for example, up that hill there. Yeah, I think you would easily hear, and it depends on the kind of gun, but you would easily hear that gunshot. So if you're trying to stay low key, not be detected, you'll, you'll want to be careful firing. You only want to kind of fire it in a must-need situation and then maybe get on the move again. So for example, a gunfight against another player, you want to use your best gun just to put them down. So in that case, you might want to just risk it. Let me show my gear. So I like organizing it in the hotbar at the bottom there. You can see some. I swear I just heard someone run up. What the? Is that another player? Just hearing things. Okay. Anyways. I like organizing it with my primary melee first, maybe a secondary melee afterwards. My pistol, because I'm going to be dropping a lot of zombies. This is my SVAL, another late game internally silenced, so like that pistol before. Excellent weapon. Well, I'm just showing you these. Let me just reload. So it's a very manual fumbling method to gear management. You do have to remove the clip, load the clip individually, put it back in. You could, for example, have multiple clips and then just hold R to reload. So I'll show you here. I'm going to pull out my SVAL, the clip's out. I'm just going to hold R. It's going to find the clip in my inventory. That's full now and pop it back in. Your attachments, at least you don't have to build the gun individually, although Takistan, you do that for some of the modded DMRs. So you've got slots you can add. I've swapped out the night vision goggle, which is a golden item kind of in DayZ. If you have that, people are going to hunt you down, try to kill you for it. I've swapped it out for just a regular ACOG sight. And what I like about this setup is these both take the same NVPS PPS4 scope, so I have the flexibility of choosing which gun I want to put it on. You need a battery in each of them to actually power it. On this one, there's just a flashlight and the battery for that. So this FAL is internally silenced. I'm not sure if this is the wrong scope because I found I had to under aim. You see that? Say this headlight, the white one here. If I wanted to hit it, I'd have to shoot here. So let's see if I could actually. I can't see the bullet hole. But anyways, so it might not be calibrated right for it, the scope. Yeah, it's just gone morning. It's a beautiful morning. There are some very nice visuals. DayZ's got a lot of gritty realism to it. It's it's a bit depressing at times. I think it's kind of for sadomasochist people because if you play PvP be prepared to die a lot, even if you get good. You die a lot, you're constantly put back to square one. Basically, the gameplay loop is you start off. Let me grab this map, and sorry, I'll come back to showing off my gear in a sec. You start off, say here, you run in, get into a gunfight, you die, you go back, then you get a bit further, you get into a gunfight, you die, you go back. Drop all your gear, it lands on the floor, it might despawn by the time you get back to it. But yeah, if you can make it far. So it's one reason why I'm a bit burned out of the PvP scene. It's just, I don't know, you just don't get to the end game stuff. You have to grind so much to get there, and I think what the devs had in mind, even for the game, even if it's different than my ideal game for this, isn't even what turned out. It's what it's descended to is just noobs on the coast, just bare fist punching each other to death over an apple. It's just like there's no beauty or kind of story to the game or anything. It's just depressing. But anyways, we go through the rest of the gear. So the S-Val's a very nice kind of mid-range. What do they explain it as? To VSS, mid to longer range, silenced sniper assault rifle. I don't know. Then I've got my M6, M6 M4. Very good game for your short to mid range, just a loose cannon kind of fire. And I've got a very nice sizable scope for it. Not scope, sorry, mag. And I'll explain in a second where you get these in Namalsk if you want to try out the map. You might be able to get them where I'm now, like close to this level of weapons, but where I've gotten them from. So just show you that thing. So hold 4. Okay, I got reload from there. Yeah, and if you hotbar, for example, a mag, you could just swap, use that to swap to it, refill it, and then just cycle through 2 mags. It's a nice fast way. So that's the gun. It's got this night vision scope, which is pretty good during the daytime as well. You don't need to unequip it. Bandages, and I just remembered that I actually have not. Oh, I thought I had disinfected these. That one's disinfected. Do I have another one? I only took 2. I think I used 1. So I need to disinfect these actually, because there's a very low chance, but you think it's a bandage, it's safe, and then you get cut. You want to heal up, and you actually end up getting, I don't know if it's sepsis or tetanus or something ridiculous. So yeah, which is a very hard disease to beat. So I've killed these zombies. They can sometimes drop with loot on them. So I'm just tabbing and looking over to the left side. That's their inventory. That's a pretty poor starting knife, so I'm not going to grab that. Let me show what I carry on. Right now I'm trying to travel light, right? So, and the main choice here to travel light is that in my chest law I don't have a plate carrier, which blocks a lot of both melee damage and especially bullet damage, ballistic damage. So because I'm not worried about getting shot by other players, I'm not too worried that I need that. So I'm going for an option that's a bit lighter, and which is this assault vest, and you can attach this utility butt pack to it, and it just gives me a bit more space to carry stuff. So I go with spare ammo, which is here, which I've already gone through a bit. A knife for when I'm hunting, a lighter, start fires. Cold is always an issue. You see I'm currently cold. So let's just address that now. My clothes are pretty insulated, but I think on the Namalsk, as insulated as you are, you always slowly take some cold, your body temperature will drop and then lead to cold damage, even if you're insulated to the max. So you either need a heat source, or you generally need a heat source. Rangefinder. This is just nice to zoom in. It's a bit smaller than the binoculars. It's a hospital up on the hill. Also there you can see it gives you the meters. So if you're trying to calibrate your shot, say you want to make an incredible sniper shot. I've attempted some at like 1.2K on some maps, but I never landed it. Anyways, I'll tell you the distance to it. Another nice usage is, you can also, and I forgot who, I didn't come up with this. I swear I'm hearing random sounds. Anyways, so you want to drop down, it'll tell you the distance to the ground. And I might be like above 10 meters, you'll take fall damage. So yeah, that's a nice little feature of it. Okay, so that's the rangefinder. Fishing hook. Fishing is OP. So you want to always take the hook, speed up your time you spend trying to lure. Bandages to heal up with if you get a cut. This epinephrine to speed up. Rags, just multi-purpose. You can bandage. You can use as ignition. I want to say what's the damn word for it? You can use as basically you can start a fire with it, not tinder, kindling. That's it. Right. Rope you can combine with the long stick and craft an improvised fishing rod. So pretty much I don't need to take a fishing rod. This is my fishing rod here. After I'm done fishing, I just break it down and I retrieve the rope. And as long as I have the hook and I can dig up a worm with my knife, I'm good. Medicine, item to repair clothing with, multivitamin pills, the pot. Now this is another multi-purpose. Inside there's water, so it acts as water storage. I can also store some repair kits for the gun and for any kind of shoes, stuff like that. And it also, I've got a gas canister so I can cook with it. Of course you want to take this out before you cook with it. And this I just swapped out for my belt currently. And more medicines, and I might use this gas mask to go into the contaminated zone. So, alright, enough talking. Let's get looting. So I'm looking for a flag and a spool. And I'm aware as well that I've left my backpack at the start, so I will go back for that. The meat will probably be all frozen by the time I get there. I don't want most of this stuff. I have some pretty good late game gear. I'll show you my favorite item. Is this GPS. That is amazing. I love the in-game navigation tools. So a compass, where's north, and by looking at another map, say the one I just showed, so that's how you hotbar something. You can kind of work out, use local landmarks and work out where you are. So that's very nice. Although I use an off-screen map. GPS is going to give you the coordinates where you are. And your compass, if you can see on the bottom, even though it's not out, it's actually rotating and telling me kind of which way is north, but it's a little bit off because have a look at this. If I swap sides, you see how it moved? So it's and it jumps around on my player. This is my player with the gear. So depending which side it is, it's a bit off-centered by whether it's left or right of you, which is dumb. But anyways, I've got a very nice backpack. Again, this you can only find it in the zone, which I was going to show you where that is. I've got some nice waterproof, warm military gear. Just see I need to repair my boots. I like letting them get to badly damaged and then repairing them, because by that time I might find like a pristine pair. So that's how I do that. That backpack and the nice guns. What you have to do to head, you can depart from anywhere here. These are all ice fields. You'll need a long swim initially to get there. You need to bring sticks, a lighter, and some kind of kindling, paper or rags, because you may have to start multiple fires, and it's easy to get lost here. But basically, you're gonna have to run across a featureless, pretty much empty ice field to get all the way to this outpost here, where some very good loot spawns. It's a very cool trip. just adds to that adventure feel of DayZ. Um, Even if there's no other players, I might shoot you on the ice. You're quite vulnerable. You can be seen for miles. So yeah, I mean, this time I left once from here, and I also left from here. Once you do the swim across, you're completely drenched. You need to immediately drop your fire, warm up, make sure your stomach's full because you won't really find food except for polar bears, which are. It's fine once you get the gear from here, but before you get the gear, they're dangerous to take down. You might need a whole clip or more than that from your gun. And just a story time, the first time I was looting here, basically I was doing something called loot cycling, which is where, let me show you. So where have I looted? I've looted that. So say I'm looting this, and there's this rope, and I'm waiting for something else to spawn, say some nails. I might take this, and I might just get rid of it in the vicinity, or I might burn it, and log off, log on, and it's got quite a fast respawn rate on the server, so you'll get something else that pops up there. So I was doing that and just mindlessly putting stuff in, just kind of not paying attention. Suddenly had a "You are dead" screen. It's by the way, if you haven't seen the death screen, it's kind of like the MS-DOS screen of like uh, operating system loading. It's this very old school, very weird shadow or bezeled font. I don't know, whatever. It looks like stage one in the game development and no one changed it, and it's very annoying because you don't know how you died. Sometimes you just you just brutally got dead and have to start again and pick up the pieces. So yeah, and basically the way I died was because what's this kill? Headshot or fuck. I didn't see that more of them had spawned. So he's, for some reason, even though the sound obviously came from me, let's just watch what they do. He's going over there to investigate, so you could actually lure them away. Because that's where the zombie dropped. So he is aggro, but he's not latched onto me. Oh, and another one just spawned there. Anyways, we'll come back for them. Yeah, back to that story. Sorry, I jump around a lot. Got the "You are dead" screen, and I backtracked to how did I die? Because no killing is allowed. Was it an admin rule? You can't loot cycle? No. Basically, I'd put a grenade, an explosive grenade in the fire to cycle through. And if you don't know, those blow up after a few seconds, and if you don't have a plate carrier, you don't stand a chance. Especially not standing right in front of it. Okay, I need to get my... there's sometimes lag on this server, you see what I mean? There, like, at least one of those should hit. I don't know why. This is a very precise gun. Okay. I don't know what's going on. What? Did I just drop you? Alright, that was some majorly bad shooting there. Criminal. And they're standing still, pretty much. Imagine me versus another player that's even got 100 hours in the game. Ah, conjoined twins. That's I thought there was something going on there. You ladies, take care of yourself. Okay. There's my bag. I'll see if I can do the stealth takedown while I'm recording. I'll explain a few more thoughts and then I might jump to... Alright, I've already looted here. I don't really want to waste ammo. DayZ is also, at the end of the day, it's a game of conserving your resources. So I don't really have a reason to fight them. As you see, I don't get XP like some other games you might. That guy scared me. I thought it was a player. Can I take him down? I don't... I'm determined to show you guys. Let's do it. Oh, fuck, my knife is in there. So if you don't know, going barefoot is the most silent way to walk. On the bottom left, you can see my noise meter, even though I'm shift, uh, sprint crouching. He hasn't picked me up. And yeah, left and right click. Now I might aggro that guy. No, I haven't. So they're kind of half blind as well as stupid. He just couldn't see me even though he was kind of looking my direction. It's a bit of a risk walking barefoot. You can get cut on... Where was I up here? If you ever lost stuff, by the way, just you can walk slowly around, press tab. And yeah, so in case I couldn't see that there, you see, it came up on my display on the left there. All right, let's put the boots back on once I sort out, oh my God, how to actually use the UI. I think I'd never played before. All right, we don't need to bother with them. I'm just going to head off and let me just get up a little bit out of the way of the zombies. Maybe give you a view of what is right around me and then make a plan where to go next. Okay, so this is the landscape. I've had my nose in the trees a bit, so now we can look around. Namalsk is very much like this. It may just get a little bit more snowy in certain areas. There's some loose tree coverage to sometimes dense. Good place to hide. You'll get a lot of blank empty space in between. See, until that section there. A lot of that might be like a kilometer, so a good 10 minutes of running. This is a very industrial, in fact the whole island is pretty much. So that's a docks down there. Is there a player down there? No, it's just a zombie. So yeah, there's some specific stuff that will spawn here. Beyond there's a sea and then just an ice sheet. And eventually later, I don't know if I'll show this, but I do need to go to somewhere past here. So yeah, that's in the plans. There's a hospital. What's the most distant thing I can bring up here? I think it might actually have a limit. See, it's not registering. I think it's 900 meters, and then beyond that, it just won't tell you. So we've got 800. Can I follow this ridge down? Does it go further away from me? 891. Okay, so if you were making a shot, I don't know what this is rated to, but you can use the zeroing, and you would have to shoot above. So say I'm getting someone on the top there, and I know they're 800. I don't think this will do damage at that range, but for example, something like that. My loadout here is pretty much what I like to go with. If you're on a PvP, you might want like a sniper rifle, and then you want like a short ranger, maybe something a bit smaller, but the M4 is very good. You could even go with a shotgun just to help clear close quarters and stuff. For me, I don't need a sniper rifle because unless I'm hunting, I don't really need to take stuff at range. I'd rather have a more flexible weapon that's good for mixed ranges. Oh, let's get back to the game. All right, let's bring up the map. So back to where we are. We are up here above the place. And I think I'm going to head to this. So let me just show you how I would navigate. Just make a general impression. You can follow a road. Roads can be dangerous because people can be looking out for other traffic. You'll run into other traffic on them. So on a PvP server, you know, people might be looking out for you there. I just like going off-road and getting kind of lost. Generally, I'll just pick a direction. So here, I kind of need to go southwest. And generally, I'll usually, if I need to make a turn, I'll exaggerate it and kind of miss where I'm going. But you learn by doing, and I think that's kind of fun. So I'll pull out the compass, and if you need to bring it closer, just get a bearing, for example there, right there. So that's where I want to head. This distance isn't very far, probably a kilometer or so. And I'll just start heading. In the map, so I think DayZ started as a military sim, like days it was like called Arma and stuff. I didn't really play back then. And there's a little rabbit right there, which you can hunt for food. He's right run off, so I'm not gonna shoot that. I've got food. So really, I would say its main focus is that it's being true to being kind of a military sim. That's why you've got this big open kind of Cold War era maps with that sort of environment. The zombies are more of an afterthought, especially for experienced players as a challenge. And yeah, what you have to deal with it's a lot of empty spaces, basically, the gameplay. And then in between, there's very intense gunfights or maybe little chases, or you'll be camping or getting camped. And then the rest of the time, you're just sort of tending to your gear, dealing with hunger or cold, running in between places. Loot is very spread out by design. So yeah, I mean, it's not for everyone. It's kind of, in my opinion, the game kind of goes falls in between two different genres and doesn't really tick either. It's a survival game, but then it's also a first-person shooter game. So it's either the bad way to look at it is a first-person shooter game with a way oversized map. Oh, and I've triggered this guy. That wasn't enough. You can also gun butt, by the way. I'll just show you the different methods. By the way, I've totally sucked with this. I don't know if that uses durability on your gun. Yeah, as you can see, I put 2 shots in him with the MK, and it didn't put him down. They weren't headshots though. After you've been hit like that, I got hit. I didn't take much health damage. You want to just check your gear, because your gear, if it goes to ruined, it's that's it. It's done. You can't repair it anymore. So you want to intervene at some stage before it gets completely ruined. So you could just drag over a sewing kit, patch it up. If it's quite common gear, you might not be too bothered. Like I said, with the shoes, they're fairly common. But that backpack was a absolute pain to get, so I'm not gonna let it go to ruin. Ah, these aren't frozen. Nice. So that's just some food from 2 deers I killed earlier, which was a nice little hunt. Now, I've just wandered up here. If you were on a PvP server, this is, in case you were just strolling along, this is a sign to be careful. Just keep your ears out, because this is a player constructed wall. There's a gate with a combination code. This one's 4 digits. So you would need to either guess that or know it if you were the owner, or you would have to use some sort of weapons, which they're very grindy. They're very underpowered to take down a wall. And beyond that, there's a player base. Now, this is PvE. Even if I break through this wall, if I steal, I'll probably get banned. So, and I'm not looking to do that anyways. So, but if you're on PvP, a base and raiding, probably know about that, is a common way to enjoy the game. If you find you might want to build a base and defend it, and if you find a base, you might want to raid it yourself and take whatever good loot is behind. So I just found a sheath which attaches to my belt, and I was missing that. So now I can pop my knife that was taking up space here down into my belt slot, and I just like to keep things kind of the same together. So I've got my ammo up there. Let's move the fishing hook as well. Made some space for that. Nice. Now, so someone's got a base here. It's a nice place to have a base. There's a late game, the stuff I'm looking for in the late game. Oh, another bandage. Kind of spawns around here. So they're in a good position to, they're very central on the island. Oh my God. To basically, we're here right now. They can go loot all these places to get these spools that you need to build a suit later. So yeah, it's a nice place. And the last time I played on here, I couldn't pick that up because I had the map in my hand, so just put it away and then you can pick it up. The last time I was playing, middle of the night, these two Russian guys, because it's a Russian server, just turned up randomly and came outside my base and didn't share any words, but basically just kind of help each other with little bits and bobs. They gave me a sharpening stone, which actually I needed, and I gave them one of these very nice backpacks I'd gotten. And I think they had just spawned in, so that was probably a good upgrade for them to have. So yeah, nice little interaction. Gave them some fish because I'm like the fisher of the server. And I was considering it as a prank. Don't tell them. Putting a grenade in the fireplace and then just backing off a safe distance. I don't know if that would get too bad. It's certainly a not in the spirit of the rules if it's not directly against the rules. So wait for him. He's seen me. And I'll totally fuck that up. Oh my God. And again. So when you're being pressed like this, you want to just back up and block. When you're doing this, and again, and you're backing up and blocked, zombies can never get hits through you. They will damage your clothing and they will possibly damage stuff that is in that clothing slot that they hit. So just beware of that. But you can block, at least you don't take health damage. And you won't get cut while you're doing that. And then when you get a little moment, you return a hit back in. As you saw, I did a power attack, which makes him stagger. And then I could get just basically chain up power attacks. So I keep staggering and take them down. And that combat knife is a very juicy little weapon. It's so I think I'm done. Sorry, I'm just checking if I'm done looting here. Sometimes I take them down 2 power attacks, sometimes 3, maybe occasionally 4, but it's pretty effective for a melee weapon and for the size it takes up. Alright, let's just enjoy some of the views here once that zombitch is done bothering us, because there's a nice spot here. Look at that. That's the harbor we came from. Let me show you. You can do this without. You want to aim high, even higher than you think you should be. And you're basically connecting with their head. Now, I've chained a lot of power attacks, so that guy was a one hardy guy. But eventually we got him down without taking any hits, and only 2 blocked hits to our body, so 1. So yeah, not too much gear damage. As you can see, everything's still worn, which is where you want it at. Worn and pristine. That's as good as you can repair it back to, so. Alright, where are we heading now? So we just looted that area, didn't find anything, basically, that we needed except that sheath, which is okay. I want to head to the sawmill, and I think that's the last place I will loot on here. And then I'm going to decide if I go back to the base and show you that, or swing back up here to loot all this. So, pretty much south. I think now we can just follow the road, which I've already lost. So you can use your compass. If you haven't got a compass, you can use things like lay of the land. Is the elevation increasing, decreasing? Maybe you might remember a mountain or a hill. If it's increasing, you're moving away from the coast. The coast is generally always about 5 kilometers at most present in any spot in DayZ maps. So if you want to move inland, just move to where the elevation's increasing as a rule of thumb. You can also use the sun if you know the time of day, position of the sun. So this is probably south, according to my compass. This is south, although it's a little bit off. So it's probably later in the day, the sun's in the southwest. Namalsk is quite far in the north, so the sun generally just kind of doesn't rise too much. It'll do this sort of movement, if you can see my crosshair. I showed another rabbit, but I'm good on food right now. I didn't explain basic parts of the game. Okay, on the bottom right is another heads-up display. One nice thing about DayZ is it's very minimal. Like I can even hide. I can hide everything. You can just, I mean, that's crazy. I would like to actually do this as a challenge. No heads-up display, no ammo count. But yeah, even when it is there, you don't spam with numbers and things. You just have a bottle for your hydration, an apple for your food level, your temperature meter, your blood and your health meter. That's what that stuff is there. My food's at max. I've eaten well. My water's not at max, but it's fine, and I've got water on me. My temperature is cold, but I can't be bothered to stop for a fire, so that's just gonna have to stay there. I could always take vitamin pills to either prevent a sickness, or I could take them once I get sick to recover quickly, so I'm not too worried. When you're cold, you do burn your calories. You burn through your apple faster, but as you can see, I've got a lot of deer steaks in here, so I should be good. I was thinking of putting them actually on my... Oh, so this is the fireplace. So I could warm up here, for example, but yeah, I think I'm fine. And just want to get a little idea if I'm going in the right direction. I think I am. Where I'm heading is quite a big landmark, so I should be able to see it. The weather is changing. You've got a bit of a snowy patch coming in. I don't know if it'll turn into a blizzard. It might. So there's a train line, and I'm pretty sure the sawmill's on the train line, so I might have missed it. Let's use the in-game map. I generally don't use this one, but I grabbed it before the video, so this is a train line I'm looking at. So I think what I've done is probably go somewhere here. So just head left. You have to make guesses like that. I could pull out the GPS and get my coordinates exactly, but I'm not too worried. And you see that flag over there? So that's someone's base. They've raised the flag. The way the flags work, it stops stuff around in its radius from despawning. So if you have a good base, you put your flag securely where people can't access it. And you keep it raised. The flag itself will kind of degrade, let's say, and that degrading is shown very beautifully, like visually, by the flag getting lowered. So you need to have a light on. No, I don't know. It slowly lowers itself over time, so you make sure it stays up. And you can also tell how active someone's been by where their flag's at. So this person's probably been online either today or in the last few days, so. Flag standing tall and proud. It is a skull and bones. And now this bastard flag is, well, any flag is something I've been looting for days and not found yet, so. And funnily enough, when we brought it up in the Discord, some guy started going off in Russian about how his flag was stolen, so I wonder if they think we're, you know, we're not being so genuine when we're asking for flags nicely. Anyways, interesting little base here. This reminds me of like a 7 Days to Die uh, little point of POI, point of interest. So he's just built it around a shed, and I wonder if he's got a vehicle. Now it's not illegal to look, and he is very much against a peeping Tom, so we'll have to find out another day. Now, I'm pretty sure I got my bearings right, and that the sawmill is further ahead here. Well, there's a bridge here. That's a start already. Is that the main bridge? Okay, I can hear the blizzard coming in now. No, this is probably this bridge here, or that one, so sawmill should be up ahead. When there's a blizzard, if you get caught in it, don't panic. Try to get indoors somewhere. You'll get a little wet, not as wet as you would in downpour, but you'll get a little bit wet. You'll get very cold, so try to have some kind of heat pack or be next to a fire, something like that. And the scary thing about blizzards, I nearly died to this before, is you can't light a fire outdoors while the blizzard's ongoing, so if that happens to you, maybe log off, log back on after the blizzard finishes, or just yeah, try to find somewhere indoors, or see if you can drop something on the ground and light that. I'm not sure if that would work, rather than a whole fire. So I'm just running along here. There's nothing really to loot. Oh, another tip which I should be keeping in mind is your shoes degrade faster while you're running on that sort of terrain, so railroad roads. So move over to the grass when you can. And I think I'm finally coming up to the sawmill now. And there's a player there. Fighting his what the? Okay. He's fighting a zombie. One thing I could forget to do is check how geared the players are. So he's got the same high tier backpack I'm carrying, not the one I'm wearing, which is better. And use your voice. Hello. Hi. You saw there I put my in-game mic on. Just not to startle him, you know, he might turn around and shoot me even though it's not a PvP server, so just say hi. It works by proximity. The closer you are, the more he can hear you. Obviously enemies could hear you, so can zombies as well, so that's another very nice interactive feature about the game. And he didn't chat back, so I'm wondering if he okay, this zombie got me cut. Let me try something here. If he'll play nice. Ah, there's a double door here. Fuck. Okay. I'm kind of... That wasn't very good. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Okay. That was a bit catastrophic. Now, I did disinfect this, so it's a good demonstration. When you take cuts like that, you can hear it. You get blood drops on your screen. You want to, as soon as you can, try to bandage that up because, as you can see, my blood marker went down. As it goes down further, things like your health and stamina. What is he loot cycling for? He probably wants the same spools that I'm looking for. Interesting. So he's just throwing stuff out of there to here and hoping something good spawns. So yeah, as your blood level drops, you'll get more and more negative effects to your character. So I wanted an axe to replace this ice axe, but I don't want one that needs to be repaired. That one's badly damaged. So I'm gonna keep looking around. Basically, that's the one convenient thing I forgot to carry. Is a nice little axe if you ever need to make a bigger fire. It's very handy. Now, where's this guy? Because I can give him some meat. Let me just take a multivitamin so I don't infect him accidentally. You can pass sickness, by the way, to other players, which is a funny feature. And if you wear a mask, COVID-19, it will prevent that, I think, 100%. So let me offer him some food here. And, oh my god, you triggered him on me, man. Can I not climb up this? Oh god, I'm just like a punching bag today. Can I really not? There we go. Thank you. Oh, they can as well. Come on. As you see, fuck's sake, man. I was taking shock damage, so melee is quite, you can actually get quite compromised in close damage in melee. Alright, now I've kind of attracted everyone and their uncle to him. I want to save ammo though, so, oh my god. Where, how are you through the fucking... I've taken so much damage here, I need to check my gear after. Nice shot. This is not how you deal with stuff. I thought that this was an easy mount up. You could get up high and they can't get to you. But, nice shot, if I do say so myself. Apparently not. Apparently not. Okay, I didn't bleed again. It's random when you will get cut. But I probably took some damage to nearly everything I'm wearing. Wonderful. And maybe stuff inside there, so that's going to be a quick repair job now. Let's get rid of that. And you know what? While I have this guy in my sight, let me offer him the food. Fuck you. Because I don't need all this steak. Where'd he go? He's probably doing the same thing I'm doing. He's looking for the spools. So it's probably not a good idea for us both to loot in the same. Is this pristine? I like the camo on that. They're all badly damaged. Yeah, it's not very good for us to loot. Oh, there he is. Let's see if I can offer him some food. You want food? Hello. Don't know what I'm talking. Let me see if I can stagger him. How did he make me? How did he? Oh god. Oh my god. Well, I've just gone through like a full bandage nearly. That's some pretty shitty fighting from me. It might be because I'm recording. I'm not very focused on what I'm doing. Me blaming stuff. Where's this guy? He might just be looting military stuff. You want food? thought that was a... Why does it look like a... Okay, well, he doesn't seem to care, so we'll move on. This is why I didn't repair it up. I now have a fresh pair of assault boots, pristine as well. So I didn't need to patch them up, unless they were your favorite color, you know. Alright, I'm running a risk here with my gear, so let me just get it actually repaired, which I was going to do. So you just take it off, drag that over, combine it. Bob's your uncle. You can see the condition looks a little bit nicer of it. See how that looks a little more tattered? Now some players ruin their stuff on purpose to give them better camo because it looks a little less distinct, the coloring. The belt's damaged. I don't know if I care about it. Let's just repair it. Why not? We'll use up the sewing kit. And while I'm here, let me just eat. Now I know... Okay. Yeah, apparently it decreases your body temperature to eat stuff that's, well, definitely frozen. I don't know what temperature it just went to. Cold. So I'm going to just put it on my person, which will warm it up slightly, and then eat it. Let's just have a look. These military zombies sometimes drop armor. There's a nice little assault vest, which is ruined. And I just realized how long this is going on for. I'm going to finish looting here, and then probably jump with you guys back to the base. As you can see, we had basically just a neutral interaction with that guy. He didn't have a mic or wasn't interested in chatting, which you'll get any kind of person. And as a rules, there's no killing rules on this server. We don't have to worry about who's gonna shoot who first. It's a fairly civil encounter. So I'm just looking here for this spool, but I'll take a flag if there is one as well. And what the devil is that ladder for? Does that go straight down? God damn it, I can't see. Yeah. And is this the side where where were the scaffolding? It's on this side, huh? Okay. So yeah, I'm looking for these. There's a red, an orange, or maybe yellow and blue. Not sure. All the colors. They can spawn specifically here and anywhere on this island. Most of the main spots. Now, sometimes this movement is quite janky. It's very free. You can generally move wherever you can if it's at the right jump height, etc. But sometimes it's very janky as well. And there's nothing on here. And is there another one of these? No. What I like to try to do is drop down this. So now say I want to drop straight down, right? I'm going to get my rangefinder out just to save time, and it's 8 meters. I think I might just sprain an ankle, which will be okay. Yeah, I got a sprained ankle, but I don't know if I took damage to my shoe. But it was, in the end, it was okay. Alright, so this guy doesn't have a base here, no? Yeah, he's just looting. He maybe came from that nearby base. And there's a chance that he's not after, for example, I'm looking for a flag. Maybe he's not after that, so even if I'm looting after him, it's not going to be the end of the world. And I'll probably just move on and get out of the way of his looting. He looked like he was trying to cycle the loot through so it respawned faster. Now, where haven't I looked yet? Probably not in here. But I was absolutely sucking to those zombies that were jumping me. And yeah, I love DayZ. It's just this. It's just basically the game goals. It's a very open-ended game. So if there are any goals, it's just to get better loot, I would say. Um, so this ladder, yeah, like stay alive and get better loot to help you stay alive better. It's kind of just the goals. And some people that want a bit more of a, like say, for example, story drama type game, that's going to be pretty painful experience, but it's something to grow to love, I think. Okay, so I've looked through here in its entirety and I haven't found what I'm looking for. And so now I'm just going to pause out of here. Hey, I'm back at this little sawmill, or I guess it's a train station by Tara Harbor. Looting it again. It's now nighttime. And I just wanted to show what I meant about the environmental features being a bit more challenging on Namalsk, which is a great job done by the modder team. Namalsk has a bit more of a backstory. This is a nice ammo, but what I'm looking for is 9 times 3 9 or 556. Um, I guess DayZ in general has a loose kind of backstory to it about basically a fight, kind of proxy East versus West war, or rebels versus the Russian government, etc. Now, if you're careful, you can drop down here without having to use the ladder and save a little bit of time. But in the mouse, it's a bit more fleshed out. There's a whole experiment facility going on in Athena up this way, multiple locations, and they're basically, it's probably what led to a leak that spawned the zombies, I guess. I can't remember. There's little notes you can find about it. And in the course of that, there was some conflict, and the military was, I guess, trying to wipe it out and started doing these strikes, kind of otherworldly strikes. I mean, in the base game, you get a gas strike, which is a cool little challenge. It'll be dynamic, it'll pop up, and if you're in the area, you'll start to take poison damage. Whereas on the Malsk, is a bit more trippy. It's like a map-wide strike. So those other ones in the base game is do I want to go loud here? Let's go loud. Um, as you just heard that thunder, that's the warning, that's the initial stages of a strike coming. And you start to hear things like that laughing in the background. I don't know if you could hear. I just glitched through the concrete. And they're all coming. I shot him in the arm and dropped him. And as it gets closer, you'll hear more and more thunder, and then you'll start seeing red flashes accompanying with the lightning, and you'll start to take stun damage at that point. And if you don't get yourself inside, so they can't jump up here. I hope I got that right. Just fire from the hip. Got a few lights on. I don't have NVGs, although I do have it on the scope, so I'm trying to conserve ammo because every time I have to come here, I have to use up like a whole clip just to clear these guys. So I'm trying to do with as minimum ammo as possible. But yeah, anyway, with this strike, as it progresses, you start taking stun damage with this red flash, and then if you're outside when the final one comes, well, either way, you will get knocked out down to the ground. You'll pass out. You won't know what's going on the next 30 seconds. And if you're outside, you'll lose half your health with that strike. If you're inside, you'll get up after being stunned and you'll be fine. So that's a pretty cool little challenge that, besides the cold and other elements, you could get hit with. And the backstory to that is this is some sort of byproduct of a portal getting opened, which again has to do with the research. I don't know how the zombie, like the infection, ties in with that. But when they open the portal, this whole storm kicks off and like screws up the elements. And you can do that yourself, and you want to do that when you progress to this end game area. I forget what the name of it is. This kind of like alien planet almost. So you go and you have to do the specific steps and get certain safe gear and then trigger the storm. And you can also pull in friends to join you and stuff, and you have to kind of plan it because you could get stuck in this other zone. And it's all very kind of creepy and otherworldly. So that's a fun, very late game thing that they've added. And it's something I want to do because I haven't been there yet. Where's this guy? Is he inside the room? No, he's inside here. Can I... Let's see this. Let's see this foul. Okay, you can't. Can you open while you... No, you can. Easy. It's right here. As you can see, I've picked up a bit of useless crap that I'll probably use in my base and stuff. Which I'm hoping... Okay, so if I might just skip to the Ashel Strike, or let's see, hopefully it comes around in a second here, so I don't have to edit out too much. Some of my thoughts about the base game. It's kind of cool, but you know, the devs, so they're kind of hands off. You can do what you want when you get dropped in the game. Besides survival, you can choose how you can either help people, you can role play some sort of torture master with them, you can shoot them on sight. But what they haven't done, if they wanted to be like this, wow, cool, because that's the intrigue, right? Your game is made for you by the player base. The kind of the filler stuff, all there's no quests or things really. That's kind of the players decide that. But they haven't encouraged or incentivized that because there's no incentive to like keeping someone alive. There's no penalty to killing them, except that you might ruin the gear they're wearing that you want to steal for yourself. So what I think would be like some good changes, and I think there's mods for this, is some kind of reputation system, or other games do it like a psychological damage you can take from from... I'm going to take this storm damage, by the way, just to show you what it does. I think I'm finished looting here for the second time. That's all buildings. Yep. So let's head out. Let's head out to the open. Let's just grab the handy in-game map to show you where I'm planning to go. I did, by the way, find a boat down here. So I went down here and then made my way up along the coast. There's another lifeboat I'm looking for, which is another part to the getting to that end game zone. Don't know if that's actually on the map. Phoenix. That might be it. Or is that the shipwreck? Okay, the strike's coming closer. Yeah, you saw that. So I'm going to take the damage here. I can just heal back out of it. Healing, by the way, is not cheesy. You don't just eat a magic pill and your health jumps up 25%. You have to slowly heal by having your other stats in good condition. You can't be starving, you can't be out of blood, and you'll slowly heal back. So there, I just took the first hit. So I'm going to take the first hit. Normally I would like to be inside, but just to kind of show you I'm going to shut up and just let the nature speak. This red light, by the way, is my LED. So you'll take successive damage. I just want to make sure I'm not in a place I'm going to get hit later. And then you pass out. Yeah, so some sort of penalty, like don't say no, you can't kill someone, but make it like a harder choice, right? And then people might make their own stories out of it, because I've had some great games where you ran into a random person. What's kind of good is to either act like a complete noob, and they might be helpful, or show some force, show that you can fight back and defend yourself. They might be worried, and you might just reach this mutual kind of trust, like, okay, well, because it's a dangerous world, right? And if you're running and you're going to pick someone to run with, because some people are looking for friends and stuff. As you see, I dropped my backpack there, so I had to remember to pick it up and check at the bottom right here. My health is down to half from that strike, so I'll just have to be careful not to get into a scrap. Yeah, I was saying it's a dangerous world, so you want maybe a competent player. Unless you're very good, you can run with a noob. If you come across someone, you could be aggressive to them at first, just to show you'll defend, but you're not looking to snipe them, and maybe you'll play together and go on a little adventure, but they're very often cut short by just people randomly killing you. It's just so random, and it just gets tiresome, and that's why I've kind of stopped PvP. Um, Anyways, I'm gonna head on here, probably to the hospital and then the coast, and then go up and around, and I'll come back to you when I'm at my base or something interesting happens. I'm just running along. I just want to show you guys this view and the sunrise, which is pretty stunning over the east ice flows. And I'm definitely going to come back with a spark plug and a can of fuel, because if there's a boat, it's going to make getting to some of these crazy out of the way places. I don't know if they'll render, probably too far away. It's going to make it much easier. So yeah, I'm just carrying on down here. I can hear a deer up in the hills there, which I'll probably hunt soon. Head up here, I'm looking for a lifeboat, and then probably hit up that, and I'll hit up that, which is the hospital, and then I'll head back to my base. And remember, I put on these pristine shoes, they're already damaged, so I've been making ground, and I'll get back to you with something interesting. Look at me using OBS. I just found out how to pause and unpause. Look again at that view. As you can see in the bottom right, my health is coming back slowly. Found a few bits and bobs here. I found another one of these beautiful silence pistols, so I'll take that back as a backup in case I die and it despawns. And I just want to show you, look at this player base. This takes a lot of work. We're going to go check it out from a bit closer. It's basically a watchtower joined with walls all around their base. Their flag isn't all the way up, so they might not have been online. Oh, and what have they done here? They've made like a little fish farm locked off. What I find funny, and you'll see when I show you my base, I've got no security. There's multiple ways to get in, and I haven't even had a lock until now. I just found one. But players here put barbed wire, metal fencing, multiple locks. This is like something that's good for, obviously, if someone's trying to raid you. You can never make a base 100% raid proof. There's always a way to get in, but you just want to delay people and make it costly, so they choose someone else's base. I'm guessing they've got like a little fish farm in here, and they locked it up. Can I actually, without getting wet, let's see what's going on under there. No. That's funny. I've never seen that before. That's creative. Or maybe they've stashed like a barrel or something. No, I want to have a look. Maybe they've stashed like something inside there. Where's my best view point? I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's like a make believe ship or something. Alright, let's get this back. Let's go check out their main base. It's just nice walking around things like this. The world kind of comes alive. You see people just doing survival stuff randomly out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know what they've built it around. I don't even think they've based it around any existing building. So this barbed wire, if you walk into it, you'll get cut. So they have a nice watchtower there. Good lookout point. This actually on a regular PvP server, this would be a decent survival base. You would need people that are online at random times, like a good cycle of them, because the problem with these kind of bases is you just have one layer of wall. So, and the weak point is any one of these walls. You just need to take out the lower half and you could access the whole base. So, I don't know if you can see inside. What is in there? You've got, oh shit, it's there. There we go, I cut myself. Hope I didn't damage. Let's bandage up. See, I didn't pay attention to the barbed wire they had the base there. Maybe they have a truck in there. And can I set barbed wire here? I mean, it's kind of fun. It's unnecessary, honestly. Just go to a PvP world if you want to make a bandit space like that. But I appreciate the effort. So yeah, they do take a long time to build. Every one of these wall sections need 2 logs. So you get that from one tree. Very slow to haul it over. Then you need multiple planks. Excuse me, crafted from the other logs, and to build up the framework and stuff. And that's just one wall section. So more a job for, I guess, a dedicated team. I'm at the north of the island, and I'm not seeing any of these boats that I'm looking for. Oh, look, that might be their truck, or that might just be a random truck spawn. Let me go check it out, because as far as I know, if a vehicle's not claimed, it's free game. But I think most vehicles are claimed. No, this is just, okay, this is not a drivable truck. So if you look at the condition, it looks pretty rusted. It means it's just like a point of interest. Stuff will spawn around it. Patrol pants, I think I'm already wearing a pair. this colors. This does not work, this double clicking thing. I don't know why. Just like swap out what I'm wearing, but yeah, some of the UI is a bit poor. So this truck is not drivable. It's basically only a point that stuff can spawn around. So don't see too many of those actually. Anyways, so I'm at the north of the island, and this, what you're looking over, is the mainland. And if you had to swim, I mean, you basically want to minimize the distance you swim. So say you needed to cross over, probably pick that point there, swim from there. If I swam from here, I've done this swim distance before, you'll definitely be at risk of hypothermia, freezing, but it's nothing you can't warm back up from. You wouldn't even need an epinephrine, which would give you unlimited stamina for a short duration. So yeah, it's a cool little challenge. Alright, I'm gonna tap out here. There you can see, I guess, an industrial area on the main island. That's Sebjan, actually. I just don't know what's got the best zoom. But my base is basically, this is a military bridge across, I think, frozen marsh, and then there's a regular lake, so my base is kind of behind there-ish, a bit further away. It's a big map. Hotkeys away. So I was planning to go back to my base, but I'm in an area here. I'm still leading the hospital. I just ran up from the coast, and it's getting a bit late. And I've also got a chance here of flag spawning. Now, someone in the Discord mentioned the flags could spawn, and I was wondering, Tara, why? Apparently it's classed as a hunting location. I don't know if the whole area or a lot of buildings, so I guess that means flags could spawn here. Oh, looking for this stuff, but I am kind of getting caught from my greed now. Now I kind of want everything, but I think that hip pack, I'm going to find another one. So that's the first thing to go. How about this? That's ruined. That could go. And if we're taking heat packs, let's just activate another one. So at this point, that's the next thing I'm going to throw. My stuff's a bit of a wreck all over the place, so I'm picking up. I didn't plan to get NBC gear, so you need this stuff. It's protective against the chemical gas in certain high value areas. So I wasn't planning to grab it, but it's in abundance here in the hospital, so might as well get it. I think I'm just missing the pants. And what I've been finding on the rooftops, normally these are quite bare, but I've been finding this little bad boy. Let me show you. See if it spawns up here. No, on this one. These .22 rounds for my silenced Mark 5. But you know, if you get a headshot, just wait for it to stop moving. It's effective at range. There, just dropped her. Has to be a headshot though. Body shots won't drop them in one. You'll need, I think, like 3 at least. So yeah. And I'm just gonna come down. What was that sound? So, I don't know if I'm hypersensitive to sounds, but those a strange sound like something dropped. Balcony wraps all the way around. Interesting. I think I've pretty much done a full circle of this compound. It's a very big compound. A lot of good medical stuff. you can, weapon-wise, you can find like a Mosin and, oh my god. See, I don't want to deal with that. I think I'm very close to having to deal with that. I don't know how they spawned in. If you wander a bit too far away. Just want to check if there's any crates I've missed. Down this way, no. So what I'm going to do is go in somewhere safe. Has she heard me? No. And log off here, or maybe just loot cycle. Let's close a few doors. This building could still be accessed from the other side, so it's not a safety measure by any means, but the more doors, the more you know where the zombies are coming through. If you have a high tier like gun, you can kind of funnel and handle them that way. So I'm going to log off here, and if you guys like this, I might make another DayZ playthrough. It's just been a bit just rambling around and, you know, bit of this and bit of that. Do some hunting, can do some base building, can do maybe some of the quest stuff. That'll be fun. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'm gonna go before these guys wipe me.